Hi, Trevor here, reflecting on life through music. Thank you for stopping by. Well, coming again today, you're very, very welcome. I trust you enjoyed my last video on band Kajagoogoo with that song Too Shy. We looked at the fact that we've got to be a little bit out there in this world, so I trust you found that one encouraging. We're going from there to Kamahl, who was born in 1934 in Kuala Lumpur. Now, he was the second of 6 children, but because of a few family dynamics, he grew up actually in Sri Lanka, or how it was known back then, Ceylon. But it was in 1953 he immigrated to Adelaide. Yay, go Adelaide! And he entered King's College from 1953 to 1955. He started to please his parents, actually, enrolled in architecture at the University of Adelaide, and it was while he was at university that he discovered the joy of singing. In fact, young Kandaya actually was a state finalist in Australian Amateur Hour. And it was around 1958 that the Murdoch family discovered him and thought, hey, why don't you just change your name to Kamahl? And he thought, what a great idea that one is. And because of that connection, he actually got a 6-week residency in the Australian Hotel in Sydney. And so he really and truly was able to, I think, capitalise on success there. And in 1966, he actually performed and became a finalist in the Sydney Stepford. He was one of the first to perform in Sydney Opera House after it opened, and he's also performed at the London Palladium. So Kamahl, he's actually sold 20 million albums, this guy, and between 1967 and 2013 he's had about 30 studio album releases, so very, very prolific, absolutely. But his first album, 1967, A Voice to Remember. Now this album was released in many, many countries around the world and achieved quite a lot of success. We got a studio version of this one below, and the song off that album, Sounds of Goodbye, 1969. Now, this song's an interesting one, this one. It talks about all of the things that you suspect that things might be coming to an end. The way we walk down the hallway, the way we look at each other, the way we don't talk, all the sort of stuff that we do that you just get a bit of an inkling that things might be coming to a bit of an end. You know, and when you're actually in that state of mind, you think, well, there's not really much I can do now, is there? It seems like every word I say comes out clunky. You know, I can't hug you at the moment. You know, I don't really want to talk to you because I don't know what to say. Everything just feels a bit weird. And so the goodbye sounds get louder and louder and louder. Now, this is a really unfortunate thing for the person who's sensing the sounds of goodbye, not the one who's actually thinking of leaving, but the one who's sensing the sound of goodbye. This hopelessness, this helplessness that they're feeling can become overwhelming, and they get to a point where they're frozen and they don't know what to do. And you might be thinking, well, get over yourself, mate. I mean, just do what you need to do. But you know, when you are in a situation where the goodbye is pending and seems to be really, really close, you become a bit frozen. But you may really, really not want the goodbye to happen. And you look around the house where you live and you look at all the things that just make you a couple, and you realise, well, actually, all this stuff's no longer relevant, and you really, really don't want the goodbye to happen. The thing that we haven't talked about here is the other person. This is the person that is wanting to say goodbye. Goodbye is it's just such an interesting word, isn't it? And that is that, you know, if you are in a relationship and there's all the emotional investment, the conversation, the intimate moments, the friendship, the history that you've shared, the memories that you've created, you just can't say goodbye to that. you might be thinking like you might be in a bit of an emotional time at the moment, and you think, well, actually, yeah, I can. But, you know, a little way down the track, you might be thinking, oh, maybe I didn't do that so well, or maybe I want to get back with them because, you know, I wasn't thinking straight. Really, really difficult and challenging to be in this situation. It's complicated to be human beings sometimes, and that is all of the complexities of about relationships coming to an end. One person wants it to come to an end and the other person doesn't. The other person may not even see it coming, and this can be quite tragic. You go from being in love, or you think you're in love, to all of a sudden you're not. So I think always the best thing we can do in a relationship is to communicate, and that is to communicate the things that need to be said. Even when it's awkward, even when it's strange. And it could be that you may not have any words in that particular moment, but come back to it when you've had a chance to think about it and to reflect on it and to resonate on it a little bit. Because if you are in a relationship, there's two of you. And if you're in a relationship, both of you need to come together to make it work. We don't want to get into this sounds of goodbye moment. It could be that goodbye is actually not even happening. But the other person seems to have it in their head for some reason. Communication. Or it could be the other person's thinking, hey, I'm not going so well with this at the moment. It's because of this. Well, this could be something really, really simple, like, you know, you don't pay me much attention, or, you know, I want some more affection from you. Stuff like that. They can actually stop the goodbye from happening in the first place, because if a relationship is a beautiful thing, it can be a beautiful thing, and they do require work from us at time. But one of the, I suppose, one of the good things about putting into a relationship is that when you need the relationship to look after you, it will. It carries the both of you as you walk hand in hand together. So this is a great song by Kamahl. This one, hasn't this guy got this most beautiful, rich voice, absolutely stunning voice that has endeared himself to not only Australia but all around the world. In 1970, we got a clip of You've Got to Learn. We've got a studio version of that one. And in 1975, one of his big hits, The Elephant Song. This is very much a wilderness protection song. This one, again, he had a massive hit with The Elephant Song. So we've got a visual clip of that one below. So Kamahl, he received the Order of Australia in 1994, 1998 Father of the Year, and 2004 Australian Centennial Medal. And as I said, between 1967 and 2013, 30 studio albums and 20 million album sales. So this guy's been absolutely massive in Australia, predominantly Australia, but also in a few places around the world today. So it's good to be able to give this guy a bit of a go today. If I think of them, I'll do them. So the links to those 3 clips are in the description below, and I've also included my last video from Kajagoogoo. So if you want to recap on them, feel free. Well, if this is your first time to Life Reflections in Music, or if you come back for another one, how great for everybody to be here. Well, that's it for today. Next time, we're going to get on to Kate Sobrano as we continue on with our Ks in this series. So until then, I'll catch you around. Bye for now.